Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Antonimo Bay, and today I've got a comic book haul. It's a little bit weird stuff. I went to El Paso yesterday, just looking for stuff that I haven't seen before. With the new collections that I bought, I've got so much Marvel, so much DC, so much Image. I'm really looking for something different. I of course got my first Mego figure. I got Samantha from Bewitched. She looks fantastic. These Mego figures are actually way better than I originally thought they would be. They feel much better. And in the meantime, I got this Daniel Clowes trade in the mail. If you've seen my other video where I talk about how much I hate trade paperbacks, I was talking about a particular story, and I actually found it. It is Blue Italian Shit. For some reason, I've always loved this story. It's an odd little story. Punk kid in 1979. There's some other great stuff in here. Love Clowes stuff. I kind of prefer his black and white as opposed to his color. I'm just not like wild about his color stuff. But there's some great stories in here. 9 stories in all. Some of it's extremely depressing. Some of it is stuff they use in Ghost World, but it's just a book that I had to have. I can't get these any other way. I originally thought maybe it was 8 Ball, but no, it was this. I had this book like years ago, so to have it again, I'm very pleased. And that's that. So my trip to El Paso, the first comic book store I went to was extremely weird. He had hundreds of comic book boxes, but literally only like 3 or 4 that you could dig through. And anytime he kept saying, well, what are you looking for? And I'd say, and I figured, okay, he probably knows where this stuff is at. And he just said, okay, I'll like, give me your name and phone number, and I'll call you when I find it. And apparently that's how he sells books. You go in there and tell him what you want, and he digs around through his crap for a couple of days, and then he calls you whenever he finds it, and then he'll sell it to you, I guess. But I don't live in El Paso. It's like a 90 some miles for me, so that is almost worthless. I can buy it on eBay. Weird store, weird guy. But I did get some books from him. He had DC Bombshells number 13, DC Bombshells number 25, and then DC Bombshells number 23. I love DC Bombshells. Who doesn't? That whole nose art thing from the 40s, definitely a big thing for me. And these were like, I think these were 99 cents an issue. You can't pass that. He did have a quarter bin, which, well, I mean, it was kind of a quarter bin. I don't see quarter bins in this state. Haven't yet to. And these were the only 2 comics in the quarter bin. He had like 50 issues of this and 100 issues of that. And I'm like, well, this is what's in the quarter bin. I'm going to take it. That's new price. So that's what I did. He had this, Superman number 294. I bought it totally for the cover because that just looks great to me. Last Man on Earth, Superman stuff. There's some scribbles on the cover. There's a dude with a weird helmet in it. And, you know, buck, I think it was 99 cents. Even in this rough shape, I don't want to leave that. That's just too cool. He had some really rough Archies. I grabbed Archie and Me, number 81. This was 50 cents. I will always pay this for old, tattered up Archies. Little Archie 136 for 50 cents. And then I got an issue of Pep 290, 50 cents. And this is funny to me because it's actually a home ec class, which they don't even have anymore. I got a copy of Lady Cop number 1, and I had to buy this because what's his face? The dude from Comic Tropes. He did a whole show on this issue, and it's weird. We're not sure like what direction they were going with this, but it's weird. I enjoy it. Glad I got it. And he did like a whole video breakdown of this whole issue. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Lady Cop. I have to buy that. Yeah, weird. It's first issue special, which I have a couple of these. And this is first issue special number 4. I don't know that Lady Cop ever got her own series, so that's that. He had an issue of Ant for 50 cents. It's one of those characters that I have looked for. Hard to find anything to do with them. And you can't leave it. I think it was 99 cents in his bin. I had to pay $2 for this, which I know sounds stupid, but I'm actually from Hastings, Nebraska originally. And Hastings, Nebraska happens to be the birthplace of Kool-Aid. Look it up. There's a museum. There's a Kool-Aid museum. They celebrate Kool-Aid days. I'm sure I've seen this comic before. I'm sure they had this book like laying around while I was growing up. This little fire guy, I don't remember what his deal is, but I remember seeing him a lot, and I remember thinking his sunglasses were really cool. It's a thing. So anyway, there's no way I can not get it, being from Hastings. So I try to buy Charlton comics now every time I see him. This is the Yang number 8. The weirdo actually was hesitant to sell me this, because apparently he loves saying to people, he's like, well, hey, if you've got the Yang, I've got the Yang, and I'll sell it to you. And then I went and bought his only copy of Yang, and I thought he was kidding at first. I think he was genuinely upset that I was buying it, though. If that's the level of weirdness we're talking about with the shop. But an issue of Space Adventures. Number 11, another Charlton comic. I think I've got another issue of this. It's old, it's Charlton, it's weird. It's space stuff. I love space stuff. Everybody can draw a good space. Had to buy it. It was like $2, but you know what? He had these things all bagged and boarded. I took them out just because I wanted to flip through them for this video, but anyway, that's that. And this is the crowning piece of weirdness that I found at the shop. It says the magazine of weird humor. It feels like a comic book version of like Cracked. It's rough, but you know, when you see something this weird, you got to pick it up. You're a winner, hubby baby. It's got all sorts of different artists. Like the artist over here, this looks like Sergio Argoni. And this is totally not. This is somebody else. There you can learn karate. This is a completely different artist. There's some weird art there. And then you go to the back and it looks like more Sergio Argoni. So yeah, it's kind of a weird little blend of different things going on. Had to get it because if you see this cover, look at that cover. Look at it. What a fruitcake. Anyway, I moved on to a different shop. Much better store, but I didn't really find much there. I got special 3rd edition Cave Woman number 1, Rain. I actually have this book, so it's a duplicate, but my cover is not near this cool. She's riding a dinosaur, and you'll see that theme returns numerous times throughout this haul. The other books I got at this particular place was Dinosaur Rex, where lo and behold, more people riding dinosaurs. We got dinosaurs, creatures wearing jackets. There's dinosaur races. And this is a comic I have never heard of. Dinosaur Rex, Upshot Graphics, a company I've never heard of. He had a 3-pack of this stuff. I wasn't going to leave it for that. It's the first issue's color for some reason. The other 2 issues are black and white. These were sold in a little bag as a set, so I didn't get to flip through them at first. I bought them totally off the cover, and I'm super happy I did, because that's weird stuff. It's good. It's good weird stuff. Chick riding a dinosaur. And that is hands down the theme of the day, was chick riding a dinosaur. The art fluctuates a little bit. It's got a very Xenozoic Tales vibe to it. Very impressed with them. Then it happened. I looked at the new rack of comics and I bought a new comic book. I have not bought a new comic book for probably 15 years off the newsstand. I hate the way that comics are distributed by Diamond distributors. I don't like the new publishers. I don't like anything about new comics. I don't like their price. But I broke down. I couldn't leave it. I got Betty and Veronica #1. It's an Adam Hughes cover. It's a beautiful cover. It is an absolutely gorgeous cover. And this whole Archie thing, I haven't touched it since it changed, whenever that was. And I don't watch the show. I'm not going to watch the show. The curiosity was killing me. And I had to see what it looked like. I had to open one of these up. And I'm not going to start like regularly reading it. I just had to get a vibe off this thing. And I'm kind of glad I did. Glad I held out and got one that was really good. And yeah, Betty and Veronica #1. That's a good place to just start and stop. So that's what I did. All right, I went to the next shop, Rebel Comics. It's actually a good shop. He has he's got a bunch of long boxes full of dollar stuff, and it's good dollar stuff. I bought some normie books, Image Velocity #1, just because I absolutely love this character design. Robot Woman. Look at the colors for this character are just great. I think it's great. And I'm kind of a Speedster fan. I didn't used to be, but I've become one. And this was like Image's only Speedster. So I got Velocity #1, Velocity #2. It's just got such a good snap to it. Looks a little bit McFarlane-y, but what are you gonna do? The other normie book I picked up was Gen 13, #24. I got it because she's wearing leopard print. I got a thing for leopard print. And, you know, I love Gen 13. It's funny. It's 90s. It's got all sorts of... Gosh, it's got a lot of ads in it. Notice every time I crack one of these open, it's like the first thing I see is an ad. Anyway, Gen 13, #24. Only $1. The deal was I grabbed so many, the dude was willing to like flex or bend, I guess I should say, on the price. So I ended up paying like 75 cents a piece for these, which I'm very comfortable with what I got. I got April O'Neil #2. Some weird art in this. It's not my favorite Ninja Turtle artist. That's grotesque looking. I think whoever read this went and made those freaking CG live action monsters. It's just horrible. There's one scene in this book though that's like just ghastly. Yeah, look at Master Splinter there. That is a horror show. Anyway, 75 cents for that. Picked up a copy of Red Fox. I've seen this advertised in other books, and I'm not gonna pass on that. The art in it's good. It's issue #11. Not leaving it. I finally can say probe with a straight face, because every time the probe is the funniest word in the world. Whether you're driving a Ford Probe, aliens, all they seem to think about is probe and stuff. That's a great opening page. Look at that. A lot of great space, a lot of great ships. Some good alien drawing in here. Look at that. That's good stuff. Plus, it had this ad on it, and I've been wanting this ad ever since I started watching Cartoonist Kayfabe, because that's one of them. Picked up Animal Mystic, Dark One, Serious. It's a black and white serious book. Anytime I see a serious book, I'll almost always grab it, especially if it's less than $1. The art in this one does not disappoint. It's that kind of washed out pencil look, and it's done really, really well. Very impressively well. And it's a book I've never heard of before. Yeah, that's a crazy work in that. Anyway, 75 cents. Can't leave it. Eternity Comics. Now, lately, anytime I see an Eternity, I've been grabbing it. I'm a big fan of a lot of the stuff they published. They published quite a few books from this set that I got. Anyway, this is Spicy Tales Special. It is like a reprint of a lot of 40s like Jungle Girl comics. And you know I love Jungle Girl comics. So yeah, couldn't leave that. Can't let that stay in the bin. Not for 75 cents. That's going straight in my basket. Picked up Damon Mask, based entirely on the cover. Because look at it. Giant spider, woman in the web. It's amazing comics. They did some X-Mutants. I love X-Mutants. The art in it is good. The art in it is fantastic, let's face it. Look at some of that. Yeah, gotta get that. 75 cents. This one I bought just for the cover. Dreadlands 204. It's a bunch of guys shooting at dinosaurs. That's a thing that I thought, that's my deal. You gotta have that. You gotta get that book. Whenever that's going on, I'm interested. But yeah, had to pick it up. I'm a big fan of Cinder. I'm a big fan of Nera. And Sierra #1, Series 2 #1, I'm gonna buy it. I got both their figures. They're kind of an obscure, rare figure, so it's kind of a thing for me to like get some of the comics to some of the stuff. And of course, they got like a little poster sitting in the middle of the book. Very pleased to get that for 75 cents. DC Comics. I was a little hesitant, but it's got a dude. He's riding a dinosaur. I've seen a few of these covers, and I was very impressed with them. And yeah, I got it. Conqueror of the Earth, Barren Earth. I got #2, 3, and 4. They got an ad for Amethyst Princess of Gem World, another book that I enjoy. And a lot of dinosaur riding going on for this whole day. There was just so much dinosaur riding. Everybody's riding one. You got Ming the Merciless there riding. She's riding Ming the Merciless now. Not in that way. Yeah, I looked at this and I'm like, this is not a typical looking DC book. Hey, I know that guy. Used to buy my Reese's Pieces from him. But yeah, more dinosaur riding. All about it. Very good. Next I found ESPers or Espers, however you prefer to say it. 1 of 4. I love Eclipse Comics. This one sold itself, just looking at the cover. The cover for the next issue looks amazing as well. Wish that I found it, but as it is, I just found one. The inside art is good. Nothing to write home about. It's pretty standard, but that cover, that's just cool. Marvel Comics, The Deep, which I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie, and it was decent, or maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. But if I could get the comic adaptation for it for 75 cents, do it. Found an issue of Duck and Cover, #2. This looks like either George Bush or Lloyd Kaufman. Somehow like a combo of the two. I can't explain it. But the book is just too weird to leave. Yeah, that's definitely some Bush Senior spoofage there. The art is just ridiculous. It reminds me of another series I used to read called Not Quite Dead. And you have to get these books when you see them. You'll never see them again. Aristocratic Extraterrestrial Time-Traveling Thieves, #1. It's a #1. It's comics interview publication. Something I've never heard of. It's got dragons. It's got spaceships. It's got aliens. It's got chick with a broom. I guess she's flying. You know, this old hot rod, it ticks all the boxes. Pick it up. Kelly Bell, police detective. This, just the outer presentation, was what sold me on it, because it's just odd. It's like got a very small color palette. You've got white, silver, black, and red. And I just thought that was weird. Some of the art in it is kind of primitive looking. You know, a little bit amateurish. I mean, like, better than I could do, obviously, but... And then some of it just, like, is really good. So, 75 cents. The time to get it is... The time to buy it is when you see it. I've got the first 2 issues of Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. I saw issue 4. It looks to me like the art has stepped up the extreme overdoing it of line work and shading. But I had to get it because I had to get it. It's just too weird. It's just one of those books. It's obviously a Ninja Turtles ripoff, but it's a good one too. Another book from Eternity is Scimitar #1. This is book 2. Different story and art. I always try to grab Eternity stuff. That's a mature book. I'm probably not going to crack that one. On the camera. Vic Bridges, Phasers. No, I know nothing about this. It doesn't even look that interesting, really. But it has the AC logo. It's an AC comic. I love AC Comics. AC Comics made the FemForce. And I love FemForce. So I bought it. Because I have to have all the AC Comics I can get my hands on. Evangeline. Guns of Mars by Chuck Dixon and Judith Hunt. I've got a few issues of this. I always, of course, love the art. I like the character. Always buy him when you see him. I live very close to Mexico. I'm in New Mexico. Mexico is like, from where I live, about 96 miles away. Which means every now and then we get a real Mexican comic. Not like a comic that is like the Mexican version of the comic, but a comic that was like written, designed, created, all printed, everything in Mexico. It's not one of the big 2. It's its own book. It's its own character. And I was so thrilled to find one of these. I've got a couple of them that I found. They're usually like jungle titles. And their art is good. It's a different type of stuff than you usually find. Especially for the era. I am looking for the date. 1968. That's pretty sweet. Anyway. 75 cents. Gotta get it. Whether or not I can understand the words or not, you have to get a weird book like that when you see it. Mirage Studios, Bade, Biker, and Orson. This is a 4-part series that I've read a couple issues of. I used to have one when I was younger, and it's good. It's a weird little book about a motorcyclist and a frog thing. And their misadventures, and it looks like they're fighting a tree, which I'm pretty sure this character reappeared in a Ninja Turtle comic later on. Saw Coda #1. Coda Publishing. I don't know why I bought it. It just kind of spoke to me and said, buy me. The art inside is rough. The cover is not that fantastic either. It is what it is. I couldn't pass it up for 75 cents. It's the first issue. I've been grabbing Marvel's Epic Comics, The Sisterhood of Steel. I got a couple issues of it. I think I got the first 3. And so now when I see it, I will grab it. I got issue 5, issue 6, issue 7, and issue 8. And from what I can tell, it's a pretty decent book. The art in it is weird, but I like it. Quality Comics, Sam Slade, Robot Hunter. I will grab these now every time I see them as well. The series ran way longer than you'd think. The art is really, really busy. There's always a lot going on every page. But it's like rough, urban, robot, future, whatever. I mean, look at that. Look at that mess of crap on this cover. And I love this little froggy looking robot guy. Anyway, I got issue 20, 21, 22, I guess. Some sort of, I don't understand that. And then issue 29, just, that was all they had in the bin. 75 cents. You got to pop on it for that. Now, you guys remember, X Mutants, right? I love X Mutants. Eternity Comics, X Mutants. Okay. I found, this is X Mutants Universe, Eternity Comics #3, Wild Nights. This horror show was sitting in the bin for 75 cents. I'm not going to leave it. That's just bizarre. It's black and white. The art is good. It's creepy. Can't pass it up. Wild Nights #3. I got Wild Nights #1. I think they started doing the call out of, this is an X Mutants Universe title. Got Wild Nights, yeah, an X Mutants Universe title. Issue #6. Good stories, good art, very dark, dystopian future. Wild Nights #9. Shuriken, I don't have that. I don't think I have any of those. There we keep seeing another ad for that particular Scimitar cover. I loved the stuff Eternity was doing back then. It's a shame they're gone. And the weirdness just keeps continuing because I found The New Humans, #2. This is another X Mutants universe. Black and white stuff. Of course, the art in it is really good because it's New Mutant. Not New Mutants. New Humans, X Mutants. Yes, they were very much coy with their titling, but it's some Eternity books and the X Mutants universe that I've never heard of before, and I couldn't believe my luck of finding these things all in one day of stuff that I am that unfamiliar with. You know, and the art in this thing is, they're always good, but to get some more Eternity stuff in the vein of the X Mutants that I'm not familiar with, I was just super thrilled, super excited. And there's better stuff to come. Finally got New Mutants. The New Humans. That is so hard to say. I got #14. And then I found another new title from Eternity that's X Mutants Universe. Shattered Earth. And these things, the covers were better than like any of the other stuff I've seen so far. The art inside is pretty standard, like from House stuff, from that design, from that company. But the covers, I think, took a step up from some of the others. You got Shattered Earth #2, Shattered Earth #3. This is definitely a series I'm going to have to figure out where to get the rest of them, because it's just too cool. Ninja High School. Those are some assets. Shattered Earth #4, Mutants Universe Anthology, or X Mutants Anthology. Same Scimitar ad that we keep seeing. Dinosaurs for Hire. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Shattered Earth #7. I believe, I kind of been trying to figure it out. I think this series ran like 9 issues, but I'm not 100% positive because it's I can't find any information on these damn things. But anyway, I'm going to, because I want the rest of the series. And the last comic book I found, I think is probably worth the wait. Rip in Time, Bruce Jones, Richard Corbin. And if the cover alone, I mean, it's another person riding a dinosaur, that tells you I had to buy it. But it doesn't begin to tell you the story of the art in this thing. The art in this thing, look at these facial expressions. Look at this stuff. This stuff is amazing. If you'd have told me he did this with a computer, I'd believe you. But these books are pre-computer crap. And this stuff is like actually an artist making this. Look at that. outstanding. I got Rip in Time number 3. Yeah, and I just got to flip through these because, I mean, look at that stuff. It's almost haunting how good it is. I don't even get how you draw like that. And it looks like it's either like pencil shading or I don't know if it's charcoal. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just know that I've never seen art like this before anywhere else, except for I had an issue of Den growing up. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. But man, it's good. It's just so, it's so good. It looks so weird. It doesn't look like anything else. I got Rip in Time number 4 of 5. Once again, I just got to do a slow flip through because it's stuff, it's a book I've never heard of. It's an artist I'm very unfamiliar with, but oh my gosh, do I want to know more. So Rip in Time number 4. And then I got 5 of 5, the conclusion. So I'm missing one issue of it, but I am so thrilled with what I have. These were not $1. These, I think he wanted $2 a piece for, or $1.50 or something like that. I didn't care. I was like, I don't care, man. I'm paying it. These are so good. The facial expressions, the light in the eyes. These are just amazing. Anyway, that is what I got. That is my comic haul from El Paso. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you saw some books you've never seen before. Try Amigo figure sometime. You'll be impressed. That's my story. Catch you guys later. Bye.